Hello everyone, welcome back to Dibya classes. Today in this class, we're going to study about jumping statements. So what are jumping statements? What do you mean by the word jump? Jump means to go from one location to another location. For example, this is a road. You are standing here and someone asked you to jump. So you jump from this place to another place. Actually what you are doing? You are changing location. This is location A. You are jumping to location B. That is, you are changing location from one location to another location. And this changing of location is known as jump. So in Java there are some statements which is used to jump from one location to another location. So what will jump in Java? That you will get to know when we do some programs related to this jumping statements. So there are how many types of jumping statements? In Java there are three types of jumping statements: break, continue, and return. In Java there are three types of jumping statement, and all these statements are also keywords. These are keywords. Okay, break is a keyword, continue is a keyword, return is a keyword, all small letters. Today we are going to learn about break and continue. Return is part of class 10. So we'll study about return in class 10. In class 9 we are going to study about break and continue. And break and continue are generally used in looping statement. But if you remember, you have already discussed about break. That is in switch. That is in switch. We have already used break statement in switch. So break is what? Break is a type of jumping statement. Similarly, continue is also a type of jumping statement. Return is also a type of jumping statement. So what happened in switch? Since you have already used break statement in switch, so let us discuss that first. So for example, inside a switch, there are three cases: case 1, case 2, case 3, and then default. For example, the case 2 is executed. It is true and case 2 was executed. So after executing the lines, break statement was written. In each case, break is present at the last, if you remember. So whenever this break statement was executed, what happened? We came out of the switch here. That means we jumped out. We came out means we jumped out of the switch statement. So coming from this location, you were here in this case, and after the break was executed, you jumped to this location outside of switch because the break statement was executed. That is the work of break statement. It will help you to jump from one location, this is location number 1, to another location, location number 2. Understood what is jumping here? Jumping means to skip some line. You are skipping all the remaining cases and the default, and you are coming to next line. The skipping of lines you can say as jumping. So for example, there are 5 lines. You executed line number 1, you executed line number 2, and you want to skip lines 2 and 3. So what you will do? You will jump to the 5th line. So this is called jumping. This jumping can be done using break. This can be done using continue. But their behaviors are different. Break behaves differently. Continue behaves differently. So today we are also going to understand what is the difference between break and continue. Both are jumping statement. Both are going to skip lines. Okay. Both will be used to skip some lines. But what is the difference between them? How they work? Okay. So we are going to understand the difference between break and continue by help of an example. So let us first understand how break is used. So here in loop, currently we are studying loop. In loop, break will be used to stop the loop. Break will be used to stop the loop. If you remember in chapter 5, we used break to stop the switch. After a case was completed, we use break so that the switch stops. It doesn't check other cases. Similarly, to stop the loop from executing, for example, we have created a loop which will work 5 times, but we want to stop after 3 times in the middle, then we'll use break. So break, the main purpose of break in loop is to stop the loop. So I have written a small program using break, and we'll see how in this program break is used. So I have a loop starting from 1 till 10. It increases by 1 every time. Okay, so now a value is 1. We have a equal to 1. 1 less than equal to 10, true. 1 greater than 5, false. False means if statement will not get executed. So it will print the value of a, that is 1. Then a plus plus, a value will become 2. 2 less than equal to 10, true. 2 greater than 5, false. So it will not get executed, so it will print 2. Then a value will become 3. This is true, this is false. It will print 3. Then a value will become 4. This is true, this is false. It will print 4. Then a value will become 5. True, false. We print 5. Then a value becomes 6. True. And this also becomes true. And you can see now the break will be executed. So whenever break is executed, the loop will stop and it will come out of the loop. Okay, it will stop here, the execution will stop here, and it will come out of the loop. The loop stops here. Though the loop can work till 10, from 1 to 10, the loop will work from 1 to 10, but it will stop because we are executing the break statement. If break is executed, we will stop the loop there only and we will come out of the loop. So our final answer will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, understood? It is very simple. Whenever you see a break inside a loop, stop the loop and come out whenever it is executed. So what will happen if we keep continue? What will happen if we keep continue jumping statement instead of break? In the same program, instead of break, we'll use continue. Let us see how continue works. Break is easy. Once break is executed, you will stop the loop and come out. Continue, you have to understand a little bit more. So here again, a value is 1, less than equal to 10, true, greater than 5, false. So it will print 1. Then a value will become 2. This is true, this is false. It will print 2. Then it will become 3, it will print 3. Then 4. Then 5. Then when it becomes 6, till 5 there is no problem because if is false. When it becomes 6, the if statement will become true. And now continue will get executed. So break, what happened? When break was executed, you stopped the loop and came out of the loop. But when continue executes, when continue is executed, it will not come out of the loop, but it will jump to the updation directly. So when continue is executed, jump to updation of for loop. So remember, when continue is executed inside a for loop, it will jump to the updation area of the for loop. So it will go to here, that is a plus plus. So a value will become 7. So what it did actually, it skipped the print statement. It skipped this line and it went directly to the updation. Then a is 7. This is true. 7 greater than 5, again true, again continue. Again it will go to a plus plus. It will become 8. True, true. Again it will become 9. Again true, continue. It will become 10. True, true, continue. It will become 11. Now the for loop becomes false. If for loop becomes false, then obviously it will not go inside. So this is the end of the loop. So in both the cases you can see we got the same answer, 1 to 5. That is not important. The important difference is, in break the loop stops, but in continue the loop continues. The loop will continue till the end. The loop will continue till the end, but it will skip the lines. It will skip the lines that are present below the continue. So whatever lines are present, here there is only one line, that is the print statement. Whatever, there can be 1, there can be 2, there can be infinite number of lines or statements below continue. Whatever statements are present below continue within this loop, below continue but within the for loop. Those statement will get skipped and the cursor, the Java compiler cursor, will move to updation directly. Okay, so what will happen? Skip all lines below continue and within the loop. It should be within the loop. We are not talking about statements like the statement X. Here in this case there is no statement X. Even if statement X is there, we are not talking about that. We are talking about statements between the continue and this ending curly brackets. Whatever statements are present, those will be skipped and the cursor will move directly to the updation. Understood? Clear? Okay. So break and continue are not going to use in looping programs. Very limited programs are there where you will be using break and continue, but break and continue will be part of a theory. So we will get question, what is the difference between break and continue? You have to explain it by giving an example. Okay, or you will be given output programs based on break and continue. So now what we'll do few break and continue based output programs so that it will be more easy to understand. So now we'll do some break and continue output program. So here there are 5 values, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So first you have to take A as 10, then solve this program, then 5, then solve this program, then 13, then solve this program, then 8, then solve this program, and minus 10, then solve these programs. So take the first bit, we have A equal to 10. So 10 greater than 5, true, A minus minus. So A value will become 9. 9 modulo 2 equal to 0, false. 9 modulo 2 is 1, so it is false. So it will not get executed. So this time we are printing the value of A, that is 9. Then 9 greater than 5, true, A minus minus. This will become 8. 8 modulo 2 equal to 0, true. True means continue. So when continue is executed, what will happen? So here I have told you that it will jump to updation in for loop, but here it is not for loop, here it is while loop. So in while loop, when continue is executed, it will not go to updation, but it will go to test condition. So you have to remember this. When using continue, in for it will go to updation, and in while or do while also, both in while and do while it will go to test condition. You have to remember this. This is very tricky. Okay, in for you have to go to updation when continue is executed, but in while and do while you have to go to test condition when continue is executed. So it will go to test condition and it will check if 8 is greater than 5. It is true. So A minus minus. A value will become 7. 7 modulo 2 equal to 0, false. So it will print A, that is 7. Then 7 greater than 5, true. A minus minus, this will become 6. 6 modulo 2 equal to 0, true. Continue. Continue means we will go to test condition. 6 greater than 5, true. A minus minus, this will become 5. 5 modulo 2 equal to 0, false. It will print 5. Then 5 greater than 5, false. So the while loop is false, so the program will stop here. Understood? So this is very much important. When using continue, if it is for loop, you have to jump to updation. If it is while or do while, then you have to jump to test condition. Don't jump to updation in while and do while. You will do a mistake. You have to jump to test condition in while, do while, and updation in for. You have to remember this. People get confused here. They do a mistake. Similarly, you have to do rest of the bit which will be part of your assignment. I have done one bit for you and you have to solve the rest of the bit. Next question. Here we have both break and continue. So I'll take the first value and solve for you. So here A is equal to 5. So here you are using do while. So do, there is no checking. So you'll enter directly x plus plus. So here x value will become 2. It is 1, x plus plus, it will become 2. Then here we are calculating A equal to plus plus A plus A minus minus. What is the value of A? A is 5. plus plus a, first change then use, first use then change. So a value becomes 12. So now we are checking a modulo 10, that is 12 modulo 10. The answer is 2. So this will become true. 12 modulo 13 equal to 3, false. 12 modulo 10 equal to 5, false. 12 modulo 10 equal to 7, false. True, false, false, false. It is OR. So even if one is true, the whole thing is true. Since this is true, we'll go to true block. This is if else. If it is true, we'll go to true block. If it is false, we have to go to else block. But this time it is true. So break will be executed. And once break is executed, you have to come out of the loop. And you will print the value of A, that is 12, and X, which is 2. The answer is 12 and 2 for bit number 1. Let us solve the third bit. So here we have A equal to 7, X becomes 2. Now we'll calculate A equal to plus plus A, means this will become 8 plus 8 equal to 16. So here you can see 16 modulo 10 is 6. So false, 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 false. Everything is false means the whole statement is false. False means we'll go to else block. Here continuous written. You can see here continuous written. Continue means this is do while loop. So it will jump to test condition. In for it will jump to updation. In while and do while it will go to test condition. So here it will check if 2 is less than 4. It is true. 2 is less than 4. It is true. So again do x plus plus. X value will become 3. Then again we'll calculate A. If you remember, A is 16 now. So 17 plus 17, that is 34. I assume that you already know how to solve increment decrement. We have solved many questions. This is based on chapter 3. If you don't remember increment decrement, how to solve it, then you can go to chapter 3 and look all the videos where we have solved increment decrements. So 34 means modulo 10, it will be 4. Again everything will be false. False means continue. Jump to test condition. So 3 less than 4, again true. X plus plus. This time this becomes 4, and again we have to calculate A. So this time it will be 35 plus 35, that is 70. Modulo 10 is 0. Again everything will be false. False means we'll execute continue and we'll go to test condition. So 4 less than 4, false. So now the loop becomes false. It will come out, it will print the value of A, which is 70, and the value of X, which is 4. So answer is 70 and 4. Let us verify if our answers are correct. We're getting 12 2 when it took the value as 5. Let us check what will happen if we take 7. Answer is 74. So we have solved it correctly. Rest of the bit, it will be part of your assignment. So now I think you have understood what is the difference between break and continue, and how the loop performs when break and continue are executed. Now we'll study about a function, a predefined function, which is called system.exit. So system.exit will be a small 2 marks question for you, or it may be part of an output program. So what is the use of system.exit? System.exit is used to stop a program. So now I taught you about break. Break helps you to stop a loop, or in chapter 5 we used to stop a switch. Okay, in this case we are stopping a loop, but system.exit will be used to stop a program. It will stop a program. So if you want to stop a program, you have to use system.exit. And if you want to stop a loop, you have to use break. This is the main difference between break and system.exit. And remember, system.exit is not a jumping statement. It is a special function, predefined function, which may be part of your short questions. You will not be using in programming also. It will be part of short question. You just have to remember how system.exit is used. I'll show you a small program of how system.exit is used. So you just have to remember system.exit is used to stop a program. And remember, when we'll be using system.exit, we'll write system.exit, and this bracket cannot be empty. Here we have to give some integer value. Here you have to give integer value. And what value will give? It is fixed. We'll give 0. You can give 0 or you can give any value other than 0. So there is a meaning behind this. When we should give 0, when we should not give 0. But in our case, every time we are going to give 0. 0 tells that the program ended without any error, to tell the user. Okay, so when the program ends, the user who is running the program, if you are doing system.exit.0, the user will know that the program ended, but there is no error. If you are writing any other value than 0, like -1, 1, 2, 3, anything, then you are telling the user that the program is ending, but there are some errors in the program. Okay, so therefore in our program we will be using system.exit.0, but you can give any other integer value other than 0. If you give 0, means program is correct. If you are not giving 0, means you are telling the user that there are some errors in the program. There are not much details related to system.exit in Java syllabus. You only need to remember that system.exit 0 is used to stop the program. Okay, that much is enough for you. I will write a short program and we'll see how the program works. So if you remember, we have already done this program. First we did using break, then we did using continue, and now we'll do using system.exit 0. Always write 0 here. Okay, so we'll run the program. Let us see what happens. Did you see? I will run again. So it is displaying the output from 1 to 5 for few seconds. So when you write break, it is stopping the loop, but it is not exiting the program. But if you write system.exit, it will print, but again the output screen will also vanish. I will show you another difference. So I'll add another thing into this program to make it more clearer. I'll write a print statement after the loop, which will say end of loop. So when you write break statement here, which was the original program, so it will print from 1 to 5, and when a value becomes 6, break will get executed and it will come out of the loop. It will stop the loop and it will come out of the loop, and it will print end of loop. After coming out of the loop, it will print end of loop. Let us check if we are getting the answer. See, we are getting 1 to 5 and then end of loop. Let us see what happens when system.exit is written. System.exit 0. Did you see? Did you see? Okay. So here it is printing from 1 to 5. When this becomes 6, system.exit executed, the program stops. The program stops, not the loop. The whole program stops. Therefore, it is not printing end of loop because the program stopped here. So if break is written, it only stops the loop and comes out of the loop. When system.exit is written, it completely stops the program. After that, nothing is going to get executed. Okay, understood? This is the main difference between break and system.exit. So today in this class, we studied about break, continue and system.exit. In the next class, I will be giving an assignment based on break and continue, the jumping statements. So now I'll take a leave from you. Have a nice day. Thank you.